Well, it's Monday morning around 8:30 and it's still a little cool. It's been very cool mornings of recent times. Just passed by our dilapidated old letterboxes and they're getting replaced today. So the gate was actually open so I could just walk straight out. So that was good. But yeah, it feels nippy even though the sun's out. I could almost wear the wind cheater. Anyway, I've got to head off. Got a bit of a walk, about a 25-minute walk. And haven't even had my coffee today. I'll probably have it this afternoon, I think. God, there's a lot of traffic here. As I said, there's people, cars everywhere, people flooding the place yesterday. Yeah, everyone's out and about. Things are livening up, but apparently I listened to a thing called Nuggets News, which is this guy, commentator from Tasmania. He does commentary on cryptocurrencies and economics in general, and talks to Martin North, and he's saying that a lot of the unemployment is way understated, and that when the job seeker, it's a job keeper, I think it's called job keeper, that job keeper plan, where that money runs out or is cut back, there's going to be a massive jump in unemployment. So yes, it's going to be very rough for the economy. And of course the laughable situation with China, where they're trying to say that they've had a 3.2% increase in GNP in the last quarter. I mean, just farcical stuff. They must be losing credibility everywhere, even amongst their own people who they heavily censor. I think personally that China, the jig is up for you, for the CCP, the Communist Party of China. Chinese Communist Party has basically really stuffed everything up, and they're going to pay the consequences. And my prediction is, I'll make a big prediction, I think we could have civil war in China and the overthrow of the Chinese Communist Party. There's a lot of external pressure on them as well at the moment, not just internal, but the internal pressures will grow as unemployment grows. People will become more and more dissatisfied. They're already very unhappy, and they are starting to actually vent their spleen publicly. So it's not like they're all sort of docile, good communists. They're not. They're people just like you and me who can be just pushed so far, and then they will go over the edge. So that's my prediction. And the other prediction is that they could get invaded. The relations between India and China are at an all-time low, and Indian nationalism is really quite fervent at the moment. So I would think that that's a powder keg there. The Vietnamese are also not happy. And yeah, I just think that there's the Japanese on top of that. They're not in a good position. And actually India's playing it very well. They're positioning themselves to take the benefit of the disillusionment with China. So that's a smart move, and they can do very well out of it. And I just think this could be a period of decline for China, and it could go on for a decade or more. Or, well, you know, if they don't reform, they could be in real trouble. It could be just a slide, and it's only going to get worse. They've had many natural disasters too, incredible amount of flooding this year, and earthquakes on top of it. So yeah, it hasn't been a great year, so it makes the concept of them having great growth in the quarter just absurd. Just no one believes them anymore. Oh, it was good. A couple of bike riders went by me, and they were reasonably friendly. Both female bike riders. One wanted directions. It's funny. I guess I'm a local now. I gave her directions to how to get to the, if she's going the right way to get to the swimming pool, to Brooks swimming pool. And to my knowledge, she is. So I hope I'm right. another woman on a bike, 3 in a row. I was quite surprised when I looked into, I tried to find out about free range chickens, the actual chicken itself, and couldn't really get that much good information online about it. But what I did discover is how incredibly fast chickens grow. I thought, when I looked it up yesterday and it said about 35 days, I thought, when I was sleeping last night, I was thinking, I've got that wrong. It's obviously not 35 days. It must be like 35 weeks, you know, the good part of a year to grow to maturity. No, it actually is correct. That they can grow chickens in such a period of time, a little over a month's time, that it will mature. I find that staggering. It's incredibly fast. In the natural state, if they're free range, totally free range chickens, even then it still only takes a couple of months for them to grow to maturity, when they're able to lay eggs and when they're considered to be adults. So it's quite staggering how quick they grow. No wonder they're preferred as a farming food, because they grow so phenomenally quick. Now it's nature for you. And unfortunately for them, their flesh is adored by many carnivores, and a fairly large group of people who make up omnivores, which is most of humanity. So they like their meat and their veg, and they especially like chicken, and that's why the likes of KFC have done so well. But yeah, just just take these things for granted. Don't think about what's involved. And I've had to care for chickens in the past on my cousin's farm. Mind you, I didn't care for them very well. I forgot to give them water, so the poor bastards were dying of dehydration, and I didn't realise that was part of my duty, so I felt really bad about that. I fed them all right, I didn't realise I had to water them as well. So that was a tough lesson learnt, and but I never knew how quickly they grew, and that is quite staggering. So it's not surprising it's such a huge industry. So poor old chickens, they're not really loved for their personalities, they're loved for their flesh. Out and about again on Wednesday, about 2:30, and the kids are down at the creche, so it's a good time to get out of the flat. Yeah, got an errand to run, and yeah, as I walk up the road without my mask on, I can only think of what life must be like down in Melbourne, where it's just getting from bad to worse. Another peak number of cases, 464 COVID cases today, 2 deaths, which is again very small considering the population of Victoria would be, I don't know, is it 5 or 6 million now? I think probably about 6 mil. Put into context, I've heard figures that apparently, this is American figures, but apparently the COVID rate is actually lower than the normal rate for flu. So again, the press always records the big figure, which is the cases, not the deaths. Well, they did mention the deaths, but the headline is the big number, big surprise. But again, so happy that I'm living up here. I never realised it'd be this big in a bonus, apart from obviously the weather. Winter here is just so far superior to winter in Melbourne. Don't want to rub it into people listening from interstate, but it is a fact, and I guess that's why a few people watch YouTube videos from this part of the world. I can understand that. I actually saw a video today from a guy I hadn't seen for a while. He'd he's been thrown off YouTube, and there's quite a few creators that have been thrown off YouTube. And I checked out BitChute, and he had a doco on Hanoi. He's another Vietnam file like me. But he likes Hanoi as opposed to Ho Chi Minh, Saigon. Oh, there was some news that the first air route to actually open up, which really surprised me, and I guess it's business related, is actually to China from Vietnam. But it's not direct, it's actually just a connecting flight from what I can gather. So it flies into Hanoi, I think, and then onto China. I wanted to do a bit of house cleaning, in which case I needed to establish Scumbag of the Week. I don't want to forget that concept, so I think it's time we get to that point of the video yet again. And I've changed my mind on this one. Originally I was going to go for a male, and then I had to figure out which one of the two males was responsible, both politicians. But I've done politicians already, so we'll do something different. How about the next group of people I find pretty loathsome, and that's celebrities. And in this case we'll change genre, I'll change genders as well, not genres, genders as well. And this time I'm going to pick a female. See who you can figure out who it would be. She's American, she's an actress in inverted commas, because if you look up Internet Movie Database, she's got pretty sketchy type credits overall. But she is married to a famous actor who has got a very solid CV. So it's not exactly a new story, this. You've seen that sort of coupling before. And she likes to hang around famous and rich people as well. It sounds like a total cliche, doesn't it? Oh, but she does have one other charming aspect to herself. She enjoys defecating in her boyfriend's bed, which she regards as a harmless prank. Now, do you have any idea who this might be? Does the phrase Amber Turd mean anything to you? Well, I am nominating Amber Heard as the Scumbag of the Week. Not only for that harmless little prank that she pulled. I mean, that's very, very feminine, isn't it? It's very, very alluring to have a crap in your on your partner's side of the bed. I mean, that's traditional love play, of course. But what's worse is the way she's just totally fabricated all the wife bashing stuff. It's just ridiculous. There's just a lot of people out there who just don't have a very strong moral streak. All her friends are starting to discredit her own evidence in this divorce case. Not that Johnny Depp's Mr. Perfect. He is a good actor, or was a good actor. I don't know if he still is, but he certainly has done some great work. But Amber doesn't. That's not enough for Amber anyway. She's also likes dalliances with, oh my God, this really hit me, Elon Musk. They were an item apparently. But Amber, in the meantime, just bask in the glory of receiving my Scumbag of the Week award. Congrats. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.